distinguished guests to our MediPRO webinar. Today, our MediPRO will consist three parts. The first will be welcome speech by me, and then we will welcome our Dr. Wang Chii-Shyan to bring you the latest key updates of JCD publication. The last part will be Q&A session. Welcome to leave all your questions in Q&A box. Hi, this is Mimi Jian. I am the CSO, Chief Sustainable Officer and Deputy General Manager of MediPRO. Welcome all. Let me introduce MediPRO AROMASE history for you. We have been in haircare industry for more than 60 years and research in scalp care solutions for 18 years. AROMASE is inspired from the action of solving problems for the beloved. And what we believe is to identify root level problems and we can actively solve problems. With the spirit of now or never, we believe healthy scalp comes healthy life. As you can see, the products of MediPRO will have a very special design, which is a missing corner. The missing corner represents our scalp. Why? Because normally people tend to focus on hair and on face, but regardless of scalp is the same skin. So this is our missing corner. This is a reminder, and when you put it in the bathroom, you will know that scalp also needs your attention. And our mission is to solve scalp problems all over the world. With this mission, we have 7 features of healthy shampoo. MediPRO products contains artificial coloring-free, chemical preservative-free, dimethicone-free, salt-free, and pH level is below 5.5, SLS-free, and we only use amino acid surfactant. We co-develop our products with doctors, and currently we help over 30,000 patients from scalp problems. You can find MediPRO in more than 50 large scalp hospitals and 500 dermatology clinics. MediPRO is the total solution of scalp problems. By cooperating with doctors, first with dermatologists diagnose, and then medication apply with good daily scalp care and combined with education. MediPRO brings total solution and helps scalp problem solving. As to the education part, we also publish a scalp textbook for academy course. There is a patented scalp check and analysis app called Scalp X to help all the dermatologists to diagnose their patient's scalp type. And these are the global certifications of AROMASE, and we also have the CPMP certification of European countries. AROMASE MediPRO is the first bronze certified cradle-to-cradle product in Asia. This is a circular economy sustainable certification. Since 2015 AMWC, AROMASE present in global medical convention and hold more than 10 seminars annually and reach more than 1,500 dermatologists. AROMASE MediPRO also present in Korean DMPS journal. And later on, we will find out more about key updates of JCD publication. The hero product of AROMASE MediPRO is 5-alpha juniper liquid shampoo. This purifying liquid shampoo consists with glycyrrhetinic acid, vitamin B3 and B5, and sodium arsenate. There is a simple steps of different scalp type. For oily scalp regime, and also for dry scalp regime, the first step is the same and follow with suitable shampoo, which is Simply Hydro shampoo and combined with Simply Hydro spray. This is the clinical case of MediPRO, and she suffered from seborrheic dermatitis for over 10 years. Before, her scalp is red and itchiness with thick buildups. From 19th of November, that is our first diagnosis, and about 1 month, you can see the progress of the scalp. And MediPRO can also be applied on hair transplant. Scalp care after hair transplant surgery requires mild caring. So this is 24 hours after the surgery. We rinse with cool water and we apply the foam and rinse with cool water. Pat dry scalp, but not the surgery area. And then we blow dry with cool temperature. So among all the applications, we aim to solve the scalp problems, and we also bring the spirit outside Taiwan. So our distributor of Poland and Germany, they also build up foundation aimed to the psoriasis knowledge spreading and also the psoriasis project to help more patients to solve their problems. And Aroma's MediPRO enterprise committing to ESG and B Corp. So CSR caregiver service is our main target to help all the caregivers. And we are currently using 10% green energy and we signed net zero by 2030. And also we plant trees for the earth. Being a B Corp, we believe be the best for the world is more important. So we want to be the change as to employees, governance, community, customer, and environment. We will be the B power. Let me introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Wang Chii-Shyan. She's the director of Dermatology Department of Ndrugong Hospital. Dr. Wang is the leading doctor of the MediPRO clinical test, and her specialty is general skin diseases, acne, psoriasis, atopic dermatitis, and seborrheic dermatitis. Dr. Wang helps people by the QA of consultations in her social media fans group, which own lots of loyalty fans. She has been the dermatology in National Taiwan University, Taipei Medical University Hospital, and now is the director of Dermatology Department. She has been the director for 18 years. So now, let's welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Wang.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to introduce MediPRO pilot study to you. We have evaluated the anti-dandruff efficacy of MediPRO in this study. I will start with a quote from our users. She said, "I never knew shampoo can refresh my scalp and my mind." We have shown you some results last year, and today I will show you more scientific evidence behind this fantastic user's experience. First, I will make a brief introduction of MediPRO. Then I will show you the study design and the results. Finally, I will tell you how and when I use MediPRO for patients in need. The test product of this study is MediPRO. First, we apply purifying liquid shampoo on the dry scalp. Rub with fingertips, massage the scalp for 1 to 2 minutes and rinse off. Then we apply shampoo on patient's wet scalp. There are 2 types of shampoo. Oily type is designed for seborrheic dermatitis, and the dry type is designed for psoriasis vulgaris. The third step, we use scalp spray evenly on the whole scalp and gently massage scalp with fingertips. This is designed for scalp skin care. The main ingredient in our MediPRO is 6% Glycyrrhetinic Acid Complex, and the other ingredients are listed in this table. Glycyrrhetinic acid has a lot of effects on skin. It can anti-allergy, antimicrobial, anti-oxidation, and anti-inflammation. Because glycyrrhetinic acid is a strong inhibitor of 11-beta hydroxysteroid hydroxygenase, so it can anti-inflammation. Some doctors use glycyrrhetinic acid to treat patients with psoriasis and got good results. In this consensus guide for patients in Asia with seborrheic dermatitis, the experts suggest patients to use shampoo containing glycyrrhetinic acid 2 to 3 times weekly, and classified this shampoo as an anti-inflammation and anti-flaking products. Based on this information, and we've designed our study as follows. Patients with dandruff who aged 20 to 65 years old and visit Ndrugong Hospital will be evaluated by DLQI and ASFS. DLQI stands for Dermatology Life Quality Index. It is a questionnaire containing 10 questions. For example, question number 7. Over the last week, has your skin prevented you from working or studying? If the interfere is very much, then the score is 3. If the interfere is not at all, then the score is 0. So after completing 10 questions, the score will be 0 to 30. The higher the score, the higher the impact. In our study, the inclusion criteria is DLQI above 2. ASFS stands for Adherent Scalp Flaking Score. We divide patient's scalp into 8 sections, from section A to section H, and in each section we evaluate the flaking status. If there is no scaling, then the score is 0. If there is very heavy scaling and the score is 10. So after evaluate 8 sections, the score would be 0 to 80. The higher the score, the more flaking is. DLQI and ASFS. If patients met the criteria, then the exclusion criteria is that allergy history to menthol, received scalp surgery in previous months, or prepare or pregnant and breastfeeding, or have any other systemic disease, then the patients must be excluded. So after inclusion and exclusion criteria, there are 26 patients with psoriasis are enrolled in our study. For psoriasis group, we've evaluated them at week 0, week 2, and week 5 with DLQI and ASFS. Patients are taught to use MediPRO 3-step every day for 5 weeks. And the results are shown here. ASFS improved very well at week 2. The flaking status improved 24.7% at the end of week 2, but the effect did not sustain very well. To week 5, you can see the ASFS is decreasing 10%. I think it's maybe due to psoriasis is a chronic inflammatory disease and it relapses frequently. So due to several reasons, psoriasis may exacerbate, and this is why the improvement is not sustained to week 5. But the DLQI improves very well. You can see at the baseline, the DLQI is 13.4. It means there is very large impact for patients' life quality due to their psoriasis. After 2 weeks, the DLQI is down to 8.3, and the improvement sustained very well at the end of week 5. So we can improve patients with psoriasis life quality. It is very good product for patients to use it continuously. Then the study design for seborrheic dermatitis. If patients are diagnosed with seborrheic dermatitis, then they will be told how the study goes. There are 49 patients are enrolled in our study. All of them receive single treatment for scalp skincare, use 3-step MediPRO series. They receive the treatment at our scalp care center. After that, we evaluate their flaking status and erythema status. If they agree, we will tell them how to use MediPRO 3-step series continuously for 5 weeks. There are 34 patients enter this study. Among them, 24 patients with the best improvement of their flaking status, their scalp will be sampled to perform quantitative PCR analysis to evaluate the microorganisms on their scalp, including 2 bacteria, Cutibacteria acnes, Staphylococcus epidermidis, and 2 fungus, Malassezia restricta and Malassezia globosa. So among them, 34 of them will receive DLQI and ASFS evaluated at week 0, week 2, and week 5. And the 24 of them will be received scalp sampling and evaluated by DLQI and ASFS. This is a result of one subject with seborrheic dermatitis only received 1 treatment. You can see the photos in the upper part. Flaking status is very heavy all over her scalp. Then lower part is the photo after only 1 treatment by 3-step MediPRO series. You can see the flaking status improved very well, and this is very inspiring. About the erythema status, you can see with the group who use MediPRO, the erythema score improvement is 38.4%, only after 1 treatment by 3-step MediPRO. For 34 patients of them who use MediPRO for 5 weeks, you can see the ASFS improved about 56.9% at the end of week 2. and the improvement continuously to week 5. You can see the ASFS score is decreasing about 64.8%, and their DLQI improved very well also. At the base of the study, you can see the DLQI is 12.7, and at week 2, it is 6.5. So improvement is about 53.8%. They all have statistically significant. So the improvement is very obvious. And about 24 of them, we've done the quantitative PCR to see the microbiome. You can see the changes on these figures. About the bacteria, Staphylococcus epidermidis decreased at the end of 5 weeks. And you can see the change is very obvious, and it is also have statistically significance. And the Qt bacteria acne is increasing at the end of 5 weeks. So it makes patients' scalp less flaking status. And about the fungus, you can see the Malassezia globosa and the Malassezia restricta. Both of them are decreasing at the end of 5 weeks. These changes, if we can show it in ratio, is more obvious. The ratio of Qt bacteria acne to Staphylococcus epidermidis is increasing at week 5, and the ratio of Malassezia restricta to Malassezia globosa is decreasing at week 5. It makes patients' scalp into a healthier status. Now we have confidence to say that MediPRO 3-step series have multifactorial effects. First, it can anti-inflammation, make patients' scalp less erythema. Then you can see the anti-flaking effect. The flaking status is very heavy at the baseline, and it is very well at the end of the study. MediPRO 3-step series also can restore dysbiosis. You can see the ratio of Malassezia restricta to Malassezia globosa is decreasing, and the ratio of Qt bacteria acne to Staphylococcus epidermidis is increasing. We've concluded this data into a paper, and we are very happy to let you know the paper is accepted by Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology. You can see it online. It will show you the complete study on it. Besides the scientific evidence, we also care about the user's feedback. Feedback that they feel less greasy and there's no irritation when they use these test products, and the itching status get good improvement. And the most important, they feel refreshing after use MediPRO. Then we will show you on the paper review on PubMed. In this study, experts evaluate why some patients will have dandruff and some patients don't. In the healthy scalp, the ratio of Qt bacteria acne to Staphylococcus epidermidis is higher than dandruff scalp. So this is correlated to our study results. Fungus part, the ratio of Malassezia restricta to Malassezia globosa is higher when patients have dandruff. So if we can reverse the ratio, then we can treat patients' dandruff. Seborrheic dermatitis is a chronic inflammatory dermatosis. It relapses frequently. So in this study, 8 patients use a shampoo containing glycyrrhetinic acid, and you can see the ratio of fungus become a healthy status at the end of week 2. But if patients discontinue to use the specific shampoo, and the ratio will change back to the pre-treatment situation. So patients need to continuously to use this kind of shampoo, and they can have a better balance of microbiome on their scalp. Scalp skin is very special because it contains numerous hair follicles. So this paper tells us that the microbiome in scalp may influence the healthy status of hair follicle. The microbiome in scalp can change epidermal hyperproliferation, and it induces some complement activation and neutrophil recruitment. If patients have pustules on their scalp, then we can culture Staphylococcus aureus, and it will make some inflammation and infection. And the microbiome on scalp are related to pro-inflammatory and immunoregulatory environment. So the microbiome on scalp is not only influence the healthy status on scalp, It also influences the status of hair follicle. So we have confidence to tell you that I use MediPRO when patients have scalp skin problems such as itching, greasy, flaking, or redness. If patients are complaining their scalp skin itching, MediPRO can improve their itching status. So this is our information we'd like to share with you. MediPRO contains Glycyrrhetinic Acid Complex. The effect of improving dandruff is obvious with only one usage. Dysbiosis of bacteria and fungus is alleviated. Itching can be relieved within 2 weeks. MediPRO provides overall scalp skin care. MediPRO can reduce greasiness as reported by our users. MediPRO obtain better life quality in only 14 days. Thank you for your attention. This is our scalp care center. We offer the best staff and the best products for our patients.
Now is in Q&A session. The first question would be, what kind of patients would you recommend MediPRO and why?
I have strong confidence to recommend my patients with seborrheic dermatitis and psoriasis to use MediPRO because we can alleviate their flaking status in 2 weeks. And for patients with oily scalp and itching scalp, I will recommend them to use MediPRO also, but they can use it less frequently, like only once a week.
Thank you, doctor. And how would you use MediPRO as a combination for patient?
I will use some steroid lotion to treat patients with scalp problem, but it makes patients' skin very dry. So I will use MediPRO as an itching product and an anti-flaking product to treat patients. I sometimes recommend them at the first 2 weeks you use MediPRO every day, and then you decreasing to 2 to 3 times a week. So at the interrupt day, we can use medicine.
And for frequently recurrent seborrheic dermatitis patient, what do you recommend for baseline control solution?
I will suggest my patients with seborrheic dermatitis to use MediPRO every day at the baseline. And after 1 to 2 weeks, if their itching status and the flaking status get good improvement, then I will recommend them to use it 2 to 3 times a week. And if the weather is hot and humid, they can use MediPRO more frequently. But when the weather is dry and cool, then I will decrease the frequency of MediPRO usage.
And doctor, we would like to know, is MediPRO only recommended for severe scalp problems?
No, because scalp problem is from mild to severe. So if your microbiome is not so balanced on your scalp, then you feel stinging, itching, you can use MediPRO initially and it will avoid the situation become severe. So we can use it when the patients have mild scalp problem.
And doctor, please remind us what are the features of MediPRO?
First, the main ingredient of MediPRO is 6% glycyrrhetinic acid. So it can anti-inflammation, antimicrobiome, antioxidation. Then MediPRO get good improvement at week 2, and it continuously to maintain the healthier microbiome status for patients with scalp problems. So we can obtain very well life quality after patients use MediPRO.
And we have several on-site questions for doctors. The first one is, what's your opinion about pine tar and MediPRO?
We have used some shampoo with pine tar before. Pine tar is good at anti-inflammation and anti-itching, but there's no evidence that if they can restore our microbiome's healthy status on scalp. And MediPRO, in our pilot study, we have shown you that the results we can restore microbiome status into a healthier status, and it can maintain very well to week 5. So I think MediPRO can use patients with psoriasis, vulgaris, and seborrheic dermatitis for better performance.
And which one is stronger and less AES?
I don't compare the strengths of these two products because it is for different patients. For patients with thick flaking status, I recommend them to use MediPRO. And for patients with less thick scale, maybe they can use shampoo contain pytar. And about the adverse effect, because MediPRO contains glycyrrhetinic acid, it is a natural composition. It's extract from black rice, glycol rice. So it is mild for the scalp skin.
And doctor, how do you suggest these two products to different patients?
For patients with psoriasis vulgaris, if they got thick flaking on their scalp, I recommend them to use MediPRO first because it can anti-flaking very quickly in 2 weeks. And for patients who of less flaking status and their scalp is less dry, and I will recommend them use Pytasol.
Thank you, Dr. Wang. Now we have online section from Philippine doctors, Dr. Catherine. So her question is, in the 5-week treatment of daily use of MediPRO during the pilot study, were there any effect on the quality of hair, like dryness, change in shear, or shine of hair?
According to our users' feedback, there is no such complaint. And for our shampoo, we have two kinds of shampoo. Oily type is for seborrheic dermatitis, and dry type is for psoriasis vulgaris. So I think patients feels fine to use these two kinds of shampoo. And in winter, for senile patients with dandruff, if there is no inflammation on their scalp, I will recommend them to use MediPRO only once a week, and it can decreasing the possibility to cause the dry hair or dry skin.
Thank you, doctor.
You're
So
welcome.
another question is from Iris. She asks about, do you suggest to combine with medicine? If so, what kind of medicine will be your treatment combination? Dr. Wang, could you share your opinion with us?
Sure. For patients with psoriasis vulgaris, because it relapses frequently, so I usually combine clobetasol shampoo. It contains clobetasol propionate. I suggest patients to use the Clobest shampoo of 2 times a week. And the other time, if they want to shampoo their hair, and I suggest them to use MediPRO. And for patients with seborrheic dermatitis, if there is severe inflammation, I will suggest them to use Dalen gel with MediPRO 3-step series. But after the activity is decreasing, I suggest them to use MediPRO 3-step series as a maintenance treatment. For patients only with dandruff, I suggest them to use MediPRO only because sometimes steroid solution or steroid shampoo make their scalp dry.
Thank you, Dr. Wang.
You're welcome.
Thanks for participating in the webinar of MediPro. Please leave your feedback about this webinar so we can make even better next time. We also have a link in chat box. You can directly link to this survey. And there's a good news. MediPro is going to hold symposium in AMWC. The time will be the 7th of May at the morning 10:30 in 1018 meeting room. We are looking forward to see you in person. Welcome to AMWC.